Welcome into Doak Campbell Stadium. It's the Warchant WRAP, brought to you by Vitamin Energy, where it's always Warchant BOGO, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Buy one, get one.
Buy
you know
66,
the rules.
get one.
Keep your head on a swivel.
132.
Incoming. We'll talk more about Vitamin Energy here in just a few minutes. But Florida State, we got to talk about Florida State's 66-10 win over Kent State.
Blue raspberry here.
Oh, that
Sorry.
hits a spot.
Yeah.
So Florida State now, they just set a rushing record with almost 500 rushing yards in this game, 775 yards of offense.
498 rushing, right?
37 first downs on 78 offensive plays.
Yep.
Just another dynamic offensive performance by this team, but it's a little weird feeling, though, because Tommy Castellanos goes down with an apparent ankle injury late in the first half. He comes back. After the game, he told us he's all good. He was walking without a limp.
I'm straight, y'all. We straight.
Yeah.
But, man, that kind of it just dampened the mood a little bit on another day where Florida State puts up kind of huge numbers offensively.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know how many people were in here when it happened, but when he ran out after the 2-minute warning in the first half, 2-minute timeout at the end of the first half, that was a really loud cheer.
Running back onto the field from the
locker room because he didn't come out after the lightning delay. He wasn't warming up. He wasn't throwing passes. We hadn't seen him. And then all of a sudden in full uniform, he comes kind of like a half jog, half run onto the field, not showing a limp. Look, man, he did not come out of the game for a reason. Like, he got hurt. He got rolled up on. The question is, will he be ready for Friday? All of me thinks that, yes, of course he will. Even if he's not 100%. He said he was 100%. He's probably not 100%. But the fact, Ira, that he ran out here, knowing that he probably didn't feel great, still made a point of running out here to show the fans, I'm not hurt, I'm around. I think that's a big thing. I don't know if what happened to Jordan Travis matters to him at all because he wasn't on this team at that time. But this fan base has been through a bit with the dynamic quarterbacks that get hurt
in games kind of like this.
So for him to come out and show the world, the season's not over, my season's not over, I'm good. I just think that was a nice thing that he did for the fans. Yeah, and maybe his teammates too.
Well, and I hate to bring it up right off the bat because it was 66-10. It was another, Florida State's 3-0, number 7 in the country, rolling into ACC play here. But that was a huge deal, the fact that it happened. Mike Norvell was a little bit more of an adult afterwards, saying that we still have to see what it looks like tomorrow. Yep. He did think it's going to be manageable. All indications are that Tommy's going to be okay, but it was definitely disconcerting at the time.
Sure.
But to your point, it was not only good for the fans to see, but also the teammates. We talked to some of the defensive players. James Williams on defense at defensive end said that, listen, Tommy's not just the leader of this offense.
Yeah.
He's a leader of this football team. He kind of put us on his back early in that Alabama game. And it's a different football team with Tommy Castellanos, or if he's not available. So it's huge. They have a short week this week. That's one thing to be a little bit concerned about. He's one less day to recover because they do go on the road to play Virginia on Friday night. But again, all things are, it's hard to be too concerned right now the way this team is playing. The last game against East Texas A&M, Florida State scored touchdowns on all 10 of its first 10 drives. Tonight, they scored on 10 of 12 drives. So a little bit of a step back.
Yeah, a little step back.
But
got to get it together, Gus.
But you're seeing more weapons. You're seeing more efficiency. It's just a fun team right now.
Buddy, what do you think Gus Malzahn was like when he saw these games on the schedule? He was like a wolf seeing red meat off in the wood. Like, right. Oh, my, I'm going to put up huge. I mean, his offense against these teams, it's unguardable almost.
With some of the playmakers they put together.
Right, in the offensive line that he has and the way he can stack up plays and scheme it and call plays. Against overmatched defenses, he's just a nightmare. Like, we've seen Florida State teams probably better than this one that have kind of sleepwalked through games like this and still won by 40, but didn't look like that where they just completely annihilated a team's offense. He's done it 2 games in a row, obviously against very overmatched teams, but still, it's impressive what they're doing. It's like a mindset to run for 500 yards in a Division I football game. I know Kent State's barely D1, but they're D1, baby. I like their helmets, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. Sharp look.
That's a really cool helmet. That says a lot, man. It just says it speaks to kind of the mindset and the physicality he's brought. Now, it gets a whole lot tougher in 6 days. In the next 13 days, really kind of dictates the season, honestly.
It's not do or die necessarily because you do have some wiggle room.
Sure,
probably.
but you want to win these next two, and you are really in the driver's seat. But yeah, I just think that this game they did exactly what they needed to do. They did get off mostly, hope knock on wood with Tommy, injury free, and they've got two of the biggest games coming up. Their first road game, and then we all know what waits the week after that. But yeah, man, I was really impressed with everything, and we've gone too long already without talking about Micah Danzy.
That's what I was going to bring up next.
So bring it up, Ira. Bring it to me.
Well, now 3 games in a row now, it's just been different guys kind of taking the starring role. Early first game, Squirrel White had the big catch. Danzy had some big runs. Jalen Lucas had a bunch of different guys.
Jalen Lucas, like, all this, can't even get on the field till they're up by 40 now. That guy put away Alabama. That's kind of the depth that they have.
And then last game, it was Deuce Robinson with the 170 yards receiving the first quarter alone.
Sawchuk just scoring 2 touchdowns a game.
Every game, Gavin Sawchuk scores a couple touchdowns. And then today we get back into the Micah Danzy show, who showed us some glimpses earlier, but not necessarily as a downfield threat as a receiver. He makes 2 huge catches, both over 50 yards, one over 65 yards. Then also had one of his reverses that seemed to always go for 60 yards.
64-yard touchdown.
But that first catch, I mean, he's going up between 2 defensive backs. Great throw by Tommy. But, man, Micah Danzy.
I don't even know if it was a great throw, but he threw it where he could get it. But his second throw to Danzy was incredible. That's right on the money. But
both throws, I mean, they're impressive
he puts it where he can go
throws.
get them. But Danzy, if Danzy can be that guy, and maybe it was just a one-night wonder, one-day wonder. I don't think so, because the way he's growing, like the rate he's growing. Jerry Wilson, who had another pick, by the way, in this game, said after the game that he thinks Danzy could be the greatest receiver that's ever played football.
Man, his ceiling is one of the greatest receivers to touch the grass. And I'm not kidding. This dude is the fastest, most explosive player I've ever seen.
And I'm with him. I can't right now. I can't think of anybody better that I would take above Micah Danzy. But the fact that he went, and I was joking, by the way, but the fact that he went and made that catch, it's like, I mean, we know he's fast, and we know he can bounce off some guys. We saw that early against Alabama. We didn't know that was in him. Like, that catch was maybe one of the most important plays of the early part of the season if it ends up making him like such an enormous weapon that we think he can be.
Well, it's a great reminder of what guys can do in terms of improvement. Because a year ago, they had him at running back.
Yeah.
He ran a couple wheel routes, including against Clemson.
You know how many touches he had last year, Ira?
But even when they did throw him the ball in a couple of those wheel routes, he didn't look like that catching the football.
Well, but also in fairness to that staff last year, they had so many playmakers and weapons that Danzy couldn't get on the field. How would you not give that guy the ball 20 times a game last year?
You go now, they moved him to wide receiver. It's obviously a good move. But also, the improvement he made. Jerry Wilson also talked about, man, everybody knows he's the fastest guy. He may be the fastest college football player in the country, but he's also an incredibly hard worker. He said he works every day on his hands. His hand strength is really strong. He said, you've seen him making that progress throughout camp. But I don't think he's even had days in practice probably where he looked like he did tonight.
Yeah, and that first catch was great. The second one, that's just speed, running a post, and Tommy puts it out there, but he accelerates and goes and gets it. And then obviously the other end around for a touchdown. They got weapons, man. Like, again, I just brought it up jokingly, but Jalen Lucas, who I think lost his punt return job, which I think we're all good with. I'd like him to concentrate more on offense.
Focus on running.
But it's hard for him to even get on the field these last 2 games. But again, he was the guy that put away the Alabama game, that had some huge runs in that game, and I think he will be part of the offense moving forward. But when you think about these last 3 weeks after the Alabama win, you got everything you needed out of him. You got a bye, you got 2 huge blowout wins, you got everybody on the roster on the field. What I wonder, though, is how easy is it to now switch back to real football again?
Right.
Like when you're not so you're not exponentially better than the guys on the other sideline. You have to play well to win, and you're not going to blow Virginia out. You're certainly not going to blow out the team the next week, probably. How do they get back to playing real football teams again? And do you worry about that at all?
I like how you've adopted Mike Norvell's approach of not naming the other team. The team down south.
Hey, that
you just
team,
keep saying there's going to be a game.
There's a game against a team from the southern part of the state.
You're unified with Mike Norvell there.
And they got a game with some team from Charlottesville. I'm not going to name them either.
You're even naming Virginia.
I remember 95. I forget.
Yeah, I mean, I think to your point, looking at the other side of the ball, the defense, held Kent to 10 points. It was 3 points.
It was one play. It was a 75-yard play. Almost kind of a trick play.
It was pretty much a trick play. It was like a quarterback sweep that turned into a pass and got a guy wide open. So they scored that, and then they got a field goal late in the game. But that was their only offense. But even with that, the defensive players did not seem very happy with the way they played. In fact, James Williams and Jerry Wilson, who had the interception, they said, we've got to get a lot better. And this was kind of beneath their standard. And I agree with them. I thought they could have played better. Statistically, not a bad day, but it wasn't they didn't look as dominant, I think, as they looked a week ago.
No.
And there were or 2 weeks ago, and there were some hiccups here or there. But as a team, even the offensive guys say, as well as they're playing, there's still a lot more they can do. So I think they recognize, I think they have a healthy mindset of, man, they're blowing these bad teams out, but they've got a lot of work to do.
And I do think there is a legitimate, real standard that the new coaches have set. Norvell obviously always has his standard, but I think Tony White clearly, like James Williams was even talking about after the game, that that's not going to be maybe it was Jerry that said that they're not going to and we're on first name basis. They're not going to enjoy the film session when they watch that game because there were some holes that they gave up. I mean, they only gave up 9 first downs. It's nitpicky, but it didn't look quite like it did the ferocity and the urgency that maybe it was the first 2 games. But I like that. I like that and I also don't think Tony White's going to take it easy on him. And I know Gus Malzahn's not going to start taking any bows because of 2 wins, these first 3 wins of the season.
Guys, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it.
I was wondering where he was. I didn't know if something had happened, but we even got a honk. That's that's not a guy. It's a different guy. So that was they honked. It's fine. I think that Gus Malzahn and Tony White will keep a standard on this thing where I just think they're playing to their standard at these games, and I don't think they're going to rise and fall depending on the competition. Clearly. And I expect them to still play really well on Friday. It's not going to be as easy. You're probably not going to win by 56 points. But I just think there's something about this team and this coaching staff. You hope that where they go and they're going to play well regardless of who else is on the other sideline.
It was a weird game overall, though. You did have the lightning delay late in the second quarter, and then they decided to make that halftime. So, they came back and finished the second quarter after the lightning delay, but then there really wasn't a halftime because they'd already taken the halftime.
Sorry, marching Chiefs. The Chiefs still got to play, but we're trying to have a Saturday.
Even with all that, we were here for a good 4.5 hours. I think it was just overall. I think it was a good day at the office for this football team. As they continue, and I think people are going to start talking about this team as one of the best, not just one of the best teams in the country, but I think in the argument for maybe the best team in the country. The way they play 3 weeks in a row now, pretty impressive.
It is. There's some things to clean up, obviously, but again, so much of it is the opponent. How good is Alabama? Because Wisconsin looked dreadful today. Right. You know what I mean? And so you wonder, what people are going to say about the opponents, and they weren't good. East Texas A&M and Kent State are not good. But it's not like they slept walk. They crushed them. And they beat Alabama pretty convincingly. If they go and take care of business Friday night, and we'll be talking to y'all in 6 days in Charlottesville.
We will.
Scott Stadium, beautiful Scott Stadium. If they handle business that game and put up, another 5 touchdowns, you haven't punted for 2 straight games. Right. That'll probably change.
They have not punted in 2 games. And Mike Norvell said, as cool as it has been to get different playmakers the ball, he's like, listen, those are the guys that the ball went to tonight, but if the defense plays differently, we could have gone to other guys. Like this could have been a Deuce Robinson game. It could have been Squirrel White.
Or Randy Pittman if he's back healthy.
And those are the 2 names to mention real quick. Squirrel White did not play, but he looked like he was available. He went through pregame warm-ups.
Micah Danzy might speed up his healing process if he keeps doing what he did in that game.
Randy Pittman's still out. We think he'll be back here in the next week or 2. They still have other weapons. Aloy McCoy came back to action tonight. So, again, they're kind of starting to get healthier, though, as time goes as well. So, we'll see how it all plays out. Warchant BOGO, is that the promo code?
Yeah, man.
For vitamin energy?
This is me. Get him some vitamin energy. Good hands. Good hands. Look at that.
Look at
that.
VitaminEnergy.com. Listen, we know you guys, it's tough, especially you students out there, starting the semester, getting into the grind. You need some vitamin energy in your life. It's got, we need Aslan to give us all the details, but it's got great flavors, great taste, and all the energy you need.
The energy. More than enough energy. More energy than you know what to do with. You could honk carts.
Plus, they also have the promo code Warchant BOGO where you get buy 1, get 1 free, buy 10, get 10 free. Use it. Enjoy it.
66, you get 132 free. Real quick before we go, we have to. It can't all be positive. The punt return saga. It's like a 6-part Netflix series at this point. Yeah. What is going on with this? What is going on? It does not matter who they put back there unless you're an NFL caliber starting wide receiver. They can't catch punts. Yeah. Keon Coleman is the only person I remember that in the last 6 years that could catch punts.
Not that they can't catch punts. They won't catch punts. The ball is just going to bounce and it's going to roll.
The first one to Jalen Lucas, it landed over his head by 5 yards. He just missed it. Do these people understand that the volume of their voices travels and we're doing something? They're not concerned in the least.
They're working here.
That's true. I guess we are. We're just sitting here. staring at Aslan. But B.J. Gibson thought looked comfortable.
All right,
maybe B.J. Gibson is the guy. He's a natural outfielder. He's a center fielder. He looked comfortable. He caught both that he had a chance at, and fair caught one. Looked good. At Florida State, if you can just fair catch the punt, you've won the punt returner job. Good job, BJ.
Last note, there one of the Kent State players did get seriously hurt to some degree. Was carted off. They had immobilized him. Best wishes to him. Hopefully he's fine. That was
we don't have an update.
We don't have an update,
no.
but
Taken to TMH.
Apparently he was taken to a local.
I saw the eyes were open, but we didn't know what happened.
Taken to a local hospital for evaluation. So we're wishing for the best for him.
Yes.
It was cool to see Amari Williams, Florida State's tight end, who was the player getting tackled on that play. When all the Kent State players went over to the cart to kind of wish the guy well,
right.
Amari Williams is like, there's one Garnet jersey in the middle of it. He's in there, too, checking on him, which was really cool to see. For Aslan Hajavandi and Corey Clark, the Irish show fell signing off from Doak Campbell Stadium, where the Noles win 66-10.
3-0, already more wins than all of last season, Ira, and already 4 more touchdowns than they scored all of last season.
That was a high bar. Charlottesville, we're coming.